Hello students, we are learning lesson 7 control and coordination, and today we are going to learn about the structure of human brain. Human brain is the part of the nervous system, and structure and function of the human brain we are going to study. This question is very important from the point of view of examination. Let us see the structure of human brain. Now see the diagram of the human brain first. This is the diagram of the human brain. I have sent it to you in the PDF form. You have to draw this diagram. First of all, see the physical structure of the human brain. Human brain is protected under the skull. As we know that our skull, that is the head portion, it is a bony structure. It is called skull. Under the skull is called cranium. In scientific language, you call the skull as cranium. Now below the cranium, below this cranium, there are three muscular layers. Each layer is called meninges. They are called meninges. There are three muscular layers, and between each layers there is a liquid filled, that is called cerebrospinal fluid. This fluid absorbs the external shock and protects us from mechanical shock. So the brain is protected under the cranium as well as the meninges and the cerebrospinal fluid. Lot of protection is there, and then inside the skull the brain is there. It is not that as large our head is, that large the brain is. The brain is a small portion located inside the skull, under the skull. This is how the brain is protected, and an adult human brain weighs about 1350 grams. So this is the notes of the human brain that you can see and write later. So human brain now has three parts, that is forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Three parts it has got. See, it has got three parts: forebrain, midbrain and the hindbrain. Let us see one by one. The forebrain has three parts again: cerebrum, thalamus and hypothalamus. Midbrain has one part called corpora quadrigemina. See pronunciation, corpora quadrigemina. And hindbrain consists of again three parts: cerebellum. The forebrain had cerebrum and the hindbrain has cerebellum, pons, medulla oblongata. These are the three parts. Now one by one we are going to see each part function. The forebrain. Forebrain consists of cerebrum. The first part of the forebrain is cerebrum. Cerebrum, as you see the structure of the human brain, actually the whole outer portion, the top portion is cerebrum only. This is cerebrum. Here it is labeled. See, cerebrum. The whole this portion, this top portion is up to this. It is cerebrum. This one is cerebrum. Okay. So it is the largest and most complex part of the brain. It has two cerebral hemispheres joined together by a band called corpus callosum. Two cerebral hemispheres means, let us visualize it, that if you touch your forehead, and see that where you do the parting of the hair, if your hair has middle parting for combing the hair, if you do, then wherever the partition of the hair is done, there if you touch the forehead, there is a portion you feel that some separation is there between the two hemispheres. That is our that is skull is spherical structure. So one portion you can touch there, one whole type is there. So one depressed part, it is not elevated part, or depressed part is there, which divides your whole skull into two parts. That is the eastern and the western, we can say. That is two parts. This is on the right part and the left cerebral hemisphere. It has got two cerebral hemispheres. These hemispheres are connected by a band of nerves called corpus callosum. Now the outer region of the cerebral hemispheres, actually this is one of the hemisphere, one hemisphere, and on the other part again this type of another hemisphere is there. Another hemisphere is there in the brain. So the hemisphere is covered by densely packed nerve cells. So this is densely packed nerve cells, and these densely packed nerve cells are called cerebral cortex. It is called cerebral cortex. The outer region of the cerebrum is packed with densely packed nerve cells called cerebral cortex, and cerebral cortex has several sensory areas where the information from the sense organs reaches it via sensory nerve. And after interpretation of these impulses, the brain sends the message to the muscles to act. Now each cerebral hemisphere is divided into 4 lobes. That means each hemisphere, this is half hemisphere, it has 4 lobes, means 4 parts. The cerebral hemisphere has 4 parts: occipital, temporal, parietal and frontal. It has occipital, temporal, parietal and frontal. 4 lobes are there. Now see the location of the 4 lobes in your brain. Frontal means near your forehead. Parietal means top portion of the head. Occipital means at the back of the brain, and olfactory is near the ear. So as the position is, thus the functions are. See the frontal portion, it is the center of the frontal portion is the center of thought, speech and memory. That means the forehead part, whenever we speak, you see the forehead part moves, the expression is seen there. So the thought is done by the frontal portion, by the forehead portion, and the speech and the memory. And the parietal means the top portion of the head. Parietal portion is this top portion. This top portion controls the sensation of smell, touch and temperature. Smell goes from the nose and directly reaches the top of the head, that is smell, touch and temperature. And temporal, it is located near the ear portion, auditory reception, it helps in hearing. And the occipital lobe is the center of visual reception because it is connected with the retina. That is, the light rays will enter through the eyes and directly straight away it goes to the retina. That is taken, and the nerve is connected with the retina to the occipital lobe of the brain. Then next part is cerebrum is over. The next part is thalamus. The thalamus lies at the center of the forebrain. Now see the location of the thalamus. The forebrain, this portion cerebrum is over. Cerebrum of the forebrain is over. And then the thalamus part. This is thalamus. This one, this cap-like portion. This cap-like portion is, this one is thalamus. Thalamus. So is the function of the thalamus. Thalamus lies at the center of the forebrain. All sensory information from the organs reaches the cerebral hemisphere through the spinal cord and then the thalamus. That means from the hands, suppose the information reaches first to the spinal cord, then to the thalamus, then to the thalamus, and then it will go to the cerebral cortex. From the spinal cord, it comes to the hindbrain, then to the thalamus, and then to the forebrain for the interpretation. So it is the connection between the forebrain and the hindbrain. Then the hypothalamus lies below the thalamus. Hypothalamus portion, you see, this is hypothalamus. This one is hypothalamus, the small portion. This is hypothalamus. So it lies below the thalamus. It connects the forebrain and the hindbrain, and it controls and regulates blood pressure, hunger, body temperature and thirst. That means whenever we feel hungry or thirsty, now who makes us feel it? The hypothalamus part of our body makes us feel the hunger or thirst. So it controls functioning of eyes and ears also. Midbrain, it connects the forebrain and hindbrain. Midbrain don't have much function, it only connects the forebrain and the hindbrain. Now the hindbrain part has again cerebellum, pons and medulla oblongata. Cerebellum lies on the dorsal side and the pons and medulla lies on the ventral side. Dorsal side and ventral side means front portion of your body and dorsal side means back part of your brain. Ventral is the front part of the brain and dorsal means at the back near the spinal cord, at the back portion. Cerebellum lies on the dorsal side and it maintains the body balance. Whenever we lose our body balance, for example, the drunk person loses his body balance because the cerebellum is affected because of drinking. So it maintains the body balance and posture, and it coordinates the body movement like dancing, walking, riding bicycle. If the balance is not there, we cannot dance, walk or ride the bicycle properly. Then pons lies on the ventral side. It regulates the process of respiration. Only one function is there. It regulates the process of respiration, breathing part. It is regulated by pons. Then medulla oblongata. This one is medulla oblongata, the last part that is near the spinal cord, medulla oblongata. So medulla oblongata controls all the involuntary activities like breathing, heartbeats, blood pressure, peristaltic movement of the alimentary canal. Peristaltic movement means when the body, food passes slowly and gradually through the esophagus, then it is controlled by medulla oblongata. It also controls the center of reflexes like coughing, sneezing, swallowing, secretion of saliva and vomiting. So that's all on the human brain, and you write the notes from the PDF I'm going to send you and draw this diagram. That's all for today.